Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking this time out to listen to me today. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I think you will find interesting, and that of course is laboring to love yourself. And in this book called Laboring to Love Myself by NichollMcGuire, I get into how you can just start loving yourself after a bad breakup, after a bad relationship. Because 9 times out of 10 you stayed in the relationship because you were doing what? Laboring to love that person. And somewhere along the lines, you allowed abuse to come in, whether emotional or physical abuse, because you failed to do what? Labor to love yourself. You see, sometimes we stop loving ourselves because we just feel like, no matter what I do, I'm not going to get ahead. I'm not going to make this person do what I want. I'm not going to have the type of relationship that I think is going to be the most befitting for me. I'm not going to accomplish this and that. And when you're doing a bunch of I'm not going to do, when you're doing all of that, what you're doing is systematically breaking yourself down. You are no longer in love with yourself. You're no longer doing the things that are going to motivate you to be all that you can be. And so you'll take all of that energy that you could be using to uplift yourself, you put it on someone else. And you find yourself telling that person, oh, you are good and you're going to do well and people love you and don't you worry and everything's going to be all right and I love you. And then when that person ends up being so encouraged and doing so well in their life and forget about you, somewhere along the lines, you're asking yourself, well, what happened? What happened to me? Why am I no longer loving myself? My Lord. Laboring to Love Myself was one of those books that had to be written after being in an abusive relationship for me, because I was going through that struggle of how do I love me? How do I love others? How do I get to a place where I'm completely free of this person who took so much of my time? You're at work, you're thinking about the person. You go to bed at night, you're thinking about your loved one. You're doing things away from the home and you're wondering, what is he doing or what is she doing? So much energy is put into a relationship that along the way, for some people, they just don't know what they love, what they like, where they want to be, what they want to do in life. They just lose sight of it, and that's what happened with me for a period of time. You wouldn't think that being with someone for 9 months could take so much time to heal from. But it did. It took about 10 years for me to just understand what had taken place, why I did what I did, why was I loving this man so much that I didn't even know how to love me when I finally got free. What is it about me that I just don't want to do what's best for me? Why do I settle? 10 years. And then even now, I'm always careful to pay close attention to when someone is trying to take advantage. When somebody is doing something that I don't like, I'm very quick to defend myself. Whereas before, I put myself off. I didn't really think about what a person was doing, and if anything, I was quick to criticize myself. But we do these things when we're in love, supposedly, because a lot of times, and I do get into this in an audio called In Love or in Manipulation. A lot of times it's not that we're in love with a person. Sometimes that person has persuaded us in such a way that we think we love them when in fact we really don't. And so instead of being in love, it's really a manipulation of sorts, because one day you wake up and you realize, no, I don't think I ever really did love this person. I think I was just tolerating her or him, and I really had real issues that needed to be dealt with. And instead of dealing with those issues, especially when you're alone, instead of dealing with them, instead you find yourself spending so much energy trying to find someone to help you through, trying to find someone to complete you. And where's the time to love yourself? You don't allow it. And a lot of people, that's why they're on the internet, because they're distracting themselves from what they should be doing for self. Instead, they are looking for someone to help them love themselves. Lord Jesus. If you have a faith, then you don't have to be concerned about that. You see, some people don't have a faith, though. You know, if you have a faith, you can go to the Lord and you can say, Lord, I'm having trouble loving folks. Give me some wisdom. Give me some strength. Give me the determination to start loving people the way they need to be loved. I mean, you could go to God and just allow him to put more love in your heart for others. Now, there is an audio that's coming right after this video. And this particular audio is about laboring to love strangers, neighbors, family. Sometimes we will love our people, you know, those that we know, the mom, the dad, the cousin, the uncle. But then when it comes to neighbors and strangers, no, we don't necessarily love them too much, okay? Because they did this or because they said this, that, and the other. But I want you to listen to this audio that's coming up, because it is one of those messages that will cause you to think. It's not very long, and I do hope that it will move some of you all to start allowing the Lord to move on your spirit to love others. And it doesn't have to be because someone gave you something or because you know them. Sometimes you find yourself just loving people. Well, look beyond yourself in this quest to love yourself. I know it seems a bit odd, but if you are confident in who you love and you're confident in who you are, then you should have no problem loving those who can't do anything for you but just say thank you. Well, thank you so much for listening, and please do listen to the audio accompanying this video.